Mumbai is not just a city on India's west coast. It is a symbol of ambition, density, money, cinema, migration, and reinvention. Today, it is the capital of Maharashtra and the most populous city proper in India, with an estimated population of about 12.5 million people. Its wider metropolitan region is even larger, crossing 23 million residents and ranking among the most crowded urban regions on Earth. But Mumbai's story is not simply about size. It is about how geography, trade, colonial power, engineering, industry, and culture combined to create a city that became India's financial and entertainment capital. Known officially as Bombay until 1995, Mumbai sits on the Konkan coast beside the Arabian Sea, with one advantage that shaped everything: a deep natural harbor. Before Mumbai became a megacity, it was a cluster of 7 islands. These islands were home to communities including the Koli people, Marathi-speaking fishing communities whose relationship with the sea shaped the area's earliest identity. Long before stock exchanges, railway stations, skyscrapers, and film studios, the coastline was defined by fishing villages, tidal inlets, mangroves, and small settlements. The sea was not a backdrop, it was the foundation of local life. The islands' position on India's western coast made them strategically valuable, but for centuries they were not the unified urban space we imagine today. They were separated by marshes and water, difficult to move across, and shaped by the rhythms of tides. Mumbai's later rise would depend on turning this fragmented landscape into connected land. Control over the islands changed hands over time. Successive indigenous rulers governed the area before it came under Portuguese influence. The Portuguese presence reflected a larger struggle for power along the Indian Ocean, where European empires sought ports, trade routes, and coastal strongholds. Then, in 1661, a turning point arrived through a royal marriage. Catherine of Braganza of Portugal married Charles II of England, and the islands of Bombay were included as part of her dowry. Soon after, they passed to the English East India Company. This transfer may sound like a distant diplomatic event, but it changed the destiny of the islands. Under British commercial control, Bombay's harbour and coastal location became assets in a growing imperial trade network. The real transformation from islands into city required engineering. Beginning in 1782, the Hornby-Vellard project started reclaiming land from the Arabian Sea and connecting the separate islands. Reclamation meant filling in low-lying areas, controlling tides, and reshaping coastlines to create continuous land where water and marsh once stood. This was not just construction, it was an act of urban invention. By the time the reclamation work was completed in 1845, Bombay had become physically more unified and economically more powerful. Roads and railways followed, linking neighborhoods and moving goods and people more efficiently. What had once been a fragmented archipelago became a rising port city, able to support commerce on a much larger scale. Mumbai's natural harbor was one of the biggest reasons the city mattered. A deep harbor allows large ships to anchor safely, load goods, and connect sea trade with inland markets. As British rule expanded in India, Bombay became one of the empire's major maritime gateways. The port gave the city access not only to Indian coastal trade, but also to routes across the Arabian Sea and beyond. Over time, this maritime advantage helped Bombay grow into a commercial hub. Goods, labor, capital, and ideas all moved through the city. Ports such as Mumbai Port, Jawaharlal Nehru Port, and Durantar Port would later support a massive share of India's maritime trade, reinforcing the city's position as a gateway to the global economy. During the 19th century, Bombay became associated with economic and educational development. The city's growth was not only about ships and docks. It also involved institutions, roads, railways, schools, markets, and new forms of urban employment. As trade expanded, Bombay attracted merchants, workers, administrators, and professionals from different parts of India. This created a city that was both local and cosmopolitan. Marathi culture remained central, but the city also became home to many languages, communities, religions, and regional identities. Migration became one of Mumbai's defining patterns. People came seeking work, opportunity, education, escape, or reinvention. That tradition continues today, making Mumbai a city where millions arrive with personal dreams tied to the city's larger economic promise. In the early 20th century, Bombay became an important base for the Indian independence movement. Its economic power made it politically important, because industrial workers, students, professionals, and nationalist leaders all operated within the city's public life. Cities with ports, newspapers, universities, factories, and meeting halls often become centers of political energy, and Bombay was no exception. It was a place where ideas could circulate quickly and where protests and organizing could gain visibility. When India became independent in 1947, Bombay was incorporated into Bombay State. But the question of language, identity, and state boundaries remained unsettled. The city's future would soon be tied to one of the major political movements of post-independence India. In 1960, the Samyukta Maharashtra movement led to the creation of the state of Maharashtra, with Mumbai as its capital. This was a crucial moment because it formally placed the city at the heart of Marathi-speaking Maharashtra while preserving its role as a national economic center. Mumbai's identity has always operated on multiple levels. It is deeply connected to Maharashtra's language, politics, and culture. At the same time, it functions as an all-India magnet for migration, finance, film, and corporate life. That tension is part of what makes the city so complex. Mumbai is regional and national, coastal and global, old and new. Its name change from Bombay to Mumbai in 1995 reflected this layered identity and a renewed emphasis on local heritage. Mumbai is often called the financial capital of India, and that title is not symbolic. The city is home to the Bombay Stock Exchange, one of the most important financial institutions in the country. It also hosts major banks, corporate headquarters, financial firms, and multinational companies. Mumbai accounts for a major share of India's capital transactions and contributes significantly to national economic output. The city generates over 6% of India's GDP, a striking figure for one urban center in such a large country. It also plays a major role in industrial output and maritime trade. This concentration of money and decision-making gives Mumbai influence far beyond its physical boundaries. What happens in Mumbai's markets can shape business confidence across India. Mumbai's economy is powerful because it is not built on one sector alone. Finance is central, but the city also houses scientific, nuclear, and commercial institutions, along with corporate headquarters of Indian and multinational companies. Its ports connect trade, its markets channel capital, and its professional networks attract talent. This diversity makes Mumbai resilient, but it also creates pressure. High demand for land, jobs, housing, and transport produces extreme density. The same city that contains billionaires, global firms, and luxury towers also contains overcrowded trains, informal settlements, and workers living close to economic uncertainty. Mumbai's success and its struggles are inseparable. The city's wealth depends on millions of people who keep it moving, often under difficult conditions. Mumbai is also India's entertainment capital. It is home to the Hindi film industry known as Bollywood, as well as Marathi cinema and television production. Bollywood is often described as one of the largest film industries in the world, and its influence reaches across South Asia, the Middle East, Africa, and global diaspora communities. The film industry strengthened Mumbai's image as a city of dreams, where newcomers might arrive with little more than hope and persistence. But Bollywood is not just glamour. It is a major employer and cultural engine involving actors, writers, musicians, technicians, editors, dancers, designers, producers, and countless support workers. Through cinema, Mumbai exports stories, songs, fashion, and fantasies that shape how millions imagine modern India. In 2008, Mumbai was named an Alpha World City, a recognition of its influence in global finance, commerce, and culture. It also has the highest number of billionaires of any city in Asia, showing the immense concentration of wealth within its boundaries. Yet Mumbai's deeper story is not only about rankings. It is about transformation. Fishing islands became a colonial port, the port became a commercial city, the city became a center of independence politics, and then a national powerhouse of finance and film. Mumbai's identity is built on movement, ships, trains, migrants, money, stories, and ambition. That is why the city is so often compared to New York. It is not because the two cities are identical, but because both represent the restless energy of opportunity at massive scale. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more explainers.